What is going on, everybody? Simply 10 here to entertain you guys today with a brand new LEGO video. And I'm pretty sure that this will be very entertaining for you to watch because this is just a fun concept in my opinion and something that I've been planning on doing for about a month now. So, I've been thinking about it, and if you don't know what area of LEGOs I am talking about because you just blindly clicked on this video without seeing the description or the thumbnail, today I'm going to talk about the top 10 most valuable LEGO sets out there. Now, keep in mind this list, is just very lighthearted research on my part. I didn't do very much in terms of looking for exactly what the most valuable LEGO sets are. I just kind of did a little bit, and I was like, yeah, that seems right. Yeah, that seems right. So these could easily not exactly be the top 10 most valuable LEGO sets out there, but in terms of just kind of what I found and what I figured out, these are at least close to the top of that list. So without further ado, let's jump right into that video. Just one thing that I would like to mention before we jump in here is the fact that I am a channel here on YouTube, which means that I make content like this pretty often. In fact, about 2 videos every single week. And I don't make this exact video every single week, obviously, so I make a plethora of little different things here and there if you're into variety and stuff like that. But basically the gist of it is 10 and LEGO. So if you're into that, be sure to really consider subscribing. That way you don't miss out on my next great video. And there are even prizes if you guys can get me to 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, enough about me. It's time to get to what you came here for. And that all starts with just all of my top 10 LEGO set videos with number 10. This set came out in 2007, so obviously it's going to be, worth quite a bit now. And it's set number 10178, the motorized walking AT-AT. This set came with 1,137 pieces and originally costed $130. However, now if you want to pick one of these up sealed in box, it's going to cost you upwards of about $750 to $1,000. So yeah, if you're one of those lucky people who owns this set still, especially if it's still sealed inside of a box, you're going to be getting a lot of money off of this thing if you sell it, or even if you just set it up and you build it. It's just yes, that set, you see that one right there, if I had it sealed in box still, it would be worth a ton of money. And this set just in general to me is a really cool one. I really like the look of this LEGO set. And this LEGO set to me is a really cool one. It doesn't completely look like an AT-AT, but that's just kind of the price LEGO had to pay in order to make it so it's motorized. Which is so stinking awesome because a motorized AT-AT is literally amazing. It walks just fine. It looks really cool when it walks. It can even walk backwards. And then you could even still put a pilot inside of its cockpit if you want to. But yeah, honestly, just the motorized part of this AT-AT is just really cool and something that's really awesome to me. And it's what makes it so expensive if you want to go and pick one of these up brand new on a resale website. The next set here at number 9 came out in 2007 as well, and it's set number 10181, the Eiffel Tower. This set came with 3,428 pieces and originally costed $200. However, now if you want to pick one of these up on a resale website, it's going to cost you upwards of about $1,100. So yeah, that is a ton of money. I mean, if it originally costed $200 and you still own it sealed in box, you're going to be getting $900 off of one single LEGO set, which is pretty crazy in my opinion, and definitely something that I would never consider going out and buying. But obviously people do if it's worth $1,100 on somewhere like eBay or something like that. And I mean, it is a pretty cool looking build. It does do a really good job of capturing the Eiffel Tower for being a 2007 LEGO set. And pretty much anything from the first decade of the 2000s is worth a lot in terms of LEGO just because they didn't have as many fans back then, so less sets were purchased, less sets were made, so that just overall, a lot of these older LEGO sets are much rarer than ones that were produced after this. At number 8, you're rich even if you own this one, which came out in 2009, and it's set number 10195, the Republic Dropship with AT-OT Walker. It originally came with 1,758 pieces and costed $250. However, now if you want to go and pick this LEGO set up, it's going to cost you about $1,500 to get it brand new inside of its box. So yeah, even here at number 8, which is a really high number obviously on this list, you're still going to be getting a ton of money off of this one. And in my opinion, this is a lot more worth it just because I'm a LEGO Star Wars fan, so I can understand why someone might want to go out and do this. Especially because this is the most recent time LEGO has made a Republic Dropship with AT-OT Walker, so it's kind of your only option if you're really into that LEGO set. It's pretty stinking awesome too because it comes with 6 clone troopers and 2 clone pilots. So yeah, just 8 normal clone troopers basically, which makes it a great army builder in addition to it being a great set already. And just one other fun little side note about this LEGO set, you can actually use this one and it's compatible with some of the other sets that came out at the same time. For instance, the Republic Dropship could pick up the AT-TE that came out around the same time, and it could also pick up the clone turbo tank that came out around the same time. But yeah, if you own this LEGO set still sealed in a box, and even if you just own it just built up, it's still worth a ton of money on a LEGO resale website. Our next set here at number 7 came out in the year 2000. So yeah, this is an older one, and it's set number 3450. That's right, only 4 numbers, and it's the Statue of Liberty. This set came with 2,882 pieces and originally costed $200. However, now if you want to pick this one up on a resale website, it's going to cost you upwards of about $2,200, which is a ton of money. Like, that is just a ton of money for a Lego set. People who go after this Lego set are just crazy in general, because that is just a lot of money to be investing in a Lego set. Like, Lego sets are cool and they're fun to own, but like $2,200, like, are you serious? And it's not like it's even that great of a build because it came out in 2000. Like, the reason why it's so much is because it's a bad build because it came out in 2000. However, it is bigger than the Statue of Liberty that came out a few years ago, so that probably has also, like, made people, like, I guess, want to get this one more because maybe they saw the newer Statue of Liberty and they were disappointed or something. They're like, I guess it's time to just bite the bullet and go and buy the $2,200 one instead. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that the Statue of Liberty might even still be out, like the one that came out a couple of years ago from Lego Architecture. And it costs $100 compared to this really old, not as good build, $2,200 Lego set. Our next set here at number 6 came out in 2007, and it's set number 10082, the Cafe Corner. It originally came with 2,056 pieces and originally costed $140. However, now if you want to pick this one up sealed in box, it's going to cost you about the same price as the Statue of Liberty at $2,200. Now, the reason why I have this one higher is because it originally sold for $140 and the Statue of Liberty originally sold for $200. So that's technically like a greater gain. Like, you get $60 more technically if you sell this one now compared to if you own the Statue of Liberty and you sell it now. But yeah, honestly, I don't really see the draw with this Cafe Corner set. It's obviously very cool and you know, it has a really just, you know, fun looking build to it. But to me, the only thing that I see in it is the fact that it's a modular, and there's plenty of modular buildings, and there's plenty of options that you can choose from now from sets that are still out, and they're way cheaper. But there must be something about this Cafe Corner set that I don't know, because it's not like all of the other modulars that came out a long time ago are on this list. It's just this one. So there's something about this Lego set that I don't know exactly what it is. And in fact, if you know what it is, let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm actually really curious exactly why this set is worth so much. But it is, so if you own it, lucky you. The next set on this list came out in 2009 and is set number 10196, the Grand Carousel. It came with 3,263 pieces and originally costed $250. However, now, in order to pick this Lego set up, brand new sealed in box, it's going to cost you about $2,300. I know these numbers just keep getting crazier. Like, there are just so many Lego sets out there that are just worth a ton of money. And this is one of the sets that makes less sense to me as well, because we had a Grand Carousel that retired a couple of years ago. So there is a brand newer version of this. And in addition to this, I think that the colors of the older one is cooler. Like, I like the red and white aesthetic. That's a lot more like circusy compared to the blue, green, yellow, and like all the other colors, but red and white on the newer one. But whatever the factors were that contributed to this Lego set, it's obviously worth a lot now, so if you own this set and you're thinking of getting rid of it, you're about to earn yourself a trip to like Disney World or something. Or maybe you'll just have a ton of money spent on brand new Legos rather than sitting on one of your older sets that you don't really care very much about. Our fourth set here came out in 2005 and it's set number 10142, the Death Star 2. This set came with 3,441 pieces and originally costed $270. However, now, once again, it's really expensive and it's $2,700. Obviously, all these prices aren't like specifically specific, but when I was like looking through different websites and stuff telling me like kind of like what the most expensive sets were, this is sort of like the basic consensus, and that's kind of what all the other ones were. Like, they're just kind of like the general consensus. I kind of butcher words when I talk too fast. But yeah, I kind of forgot to mention that as well. Like, these prices could obviously also be wrong in a way where it's like, I got my set for cheaper, or I had to pay more for that Lego set. And I mean, every single time you sell a Lego set, it's going to sell for something different than this number. But this number is a general approximation, and it's a crazy general approximation. I mean, like, $2,700 is a pretty hefty price point. However, I do understand for this one as well, because I, being a Lego Star Wars fan, I actually understand this Lego set, and I understand the fact that Lego has never made this Lego set again. So if you want a Death Star 2, the only way to go out and get one is to get this $2,700 one. Which is obviously a ton of money, but the reason why is because there's so much demand for it that the price just keeps going up and up and up and up. At number 3, we have another set that is on this list because it's just a really old one. Like, that's the only thing that I can, like, understand of why this set would cost so much, because it came out in 2002, so, basically if it's that old, it's gonna cost quite a bit. And it's set number 10030, the Imperial Star Destroyer. This set came with 3,096 pieces and originally costed $270. It's funny because I just wrote this list down, and for some reason it wasn't until I just said it out loud that I realized that the Imperial Star Destroyer that came out in 2002 cost the same amount of money as the Death Star 2 that came out 3 years later in 2005. So yeah, I guess because it came out a little bit sooner, it's worth a little bit more than this Death Star 2, and it's worth about $2,800. And this one makes absolutely zero sense to me other than the fact that it's an old LEGO set, because we just got a brand new Imperial Star Destroyer that came out a few years ago, and it's still available for sale, and it's only $700, whereas if you want to get this one, it's going to cost you 4 times that amount. Which is pretty insane to me that people are willing to pay that price, but I mean, I guess it's just a really cool, really old LEGO set. And I've seen like pictures and videos of it up next to the newer one, and it does look pretty similar, so I guess that's just kind of like a cool thing to have where it's like, look at this really old, gigantic LEGO set that actually looks good. But yeah, people who go out and get this one are pretty crazy, and lucky you if you own the set, because crazy people are going to be willing to pay $2,800 for your brand new sealed in-box LEGO set. Here at number 2 might be the craziest one on this list, and it came out in 2013, so it's the newest thing, and it's number 2 on this list. For those of you who know LEGO pretty well, you might know what I'm talking about just by me saying 2013. But let's take that one step further, and maybe this will help you as well. It also comes with only 8 pieces. Do you know it yet? If not, it also originally costed $4. Is that ringing any bells? Because it probably should be. I mean, obviously, like, I don't know if I would know just by watching this video blindly, but I'd hope I'd know because this is just a fun part of LEGO history, and it's Mr. Gold. That's right, this minifigure that came in... I just realized that I don't know what series Mr. Gold came in, but he came in a collectible minifigure series, and he was like a really rare figure to get in the collectible minifigure series, and he was apparently so rare that he is now worth $4,500 on a resale website. That's right, it's going to cost you $4,500 to get this LEGO minifigure. Now, if you just go onto eBay and look at Mr. Gold, you're not going to believe me, but that's because most of those figures there that are like $5 or $10, they aren't Mr. Gold. They're like cheap custom-made knockoffs that people know aren't real, and they just want like a fake Mr. Gold just to be like, hey, look, that's Mr. Gold, because only like a true LEGO fan would know if it was Mr. Gold or not. I don't know, I honestly don't understand people who buy fake LEGO, and I'm kind of going off on a tangent now, but it's kind of like, you know it's not real, and your opinion of your own collection is what matters the most. So do you really feel value in having fake LEGO? I don't know, like I said though, I'm going off on a tangent though, so let's get back to Mr. Gold being worth $4,500, and that's just crazy to me. Honestly, if I was rich and just had a ton of money to just spend on anything, I might consider getting Mr. Gold just because he's just that crazy of a LEGO minifigure. Now, there are other LEGO minifigures that are worth quite a bit as well, but I decided to just leave them off of this list because they weren't really like actual LEGO sets. Like, Mr. Gold really was his own LEGO set, while most LEGO minifigures are rare because they were just like inside of a certain LEGO set. But this Mr. Gold was available to anyone who was able to get their hands on him just by searching through all of the collectible minifigure series whenever they could find one. And LEGO made so few of them, and there's less and less of them on the market as the days go on, that he's worth $4,500. Our final set here on this list came out in 2007, and I'm pretty sure like this is, out of all of them, this is the one that I'm most certain about that like I'm correct on this being the most valuable LEGO set out there. And it's set number 10179, the UCS Millennium Falcon. I'm not talking about the brand new one, I'm talking about the old one that came with 5,174 pieces and originally costed $500. However, now if you want to pick up this really cool, really old, really awesome UCS Millennium Falcon, it's going to cost you $5,000. Obviously, you could find a steal of a deal, and there's also people on there who are trying to like rip you off and make you pay just a ton of money for one. But I'd say about the average, or maybe just a little bit higher than average, is $5,000. That is so much money for just a single LEGO set, especially one that has a brand new remake out. And you think that the $800 remake is worth a lot, consider buying the $5,000 one sealed in box on a resale website. Obviously, this set, is fun, and it comes with some really great figures, and in my opinion, probably better figures than the newer one. What I mean by that is the character selection. Like, I think that the character design of the newer one is better, but in terms of just like the specific figures that you get in the older one, I think that that selection is better. But that's the only place in my opinion where the older one is better than the newer one, because the older one is obviously like built with like different Lego pieces, because Lego didn't have as many pieces out then, and they didn't have as good building techniques out then as well, so it's a lot more fragile. And it's crazy to me to think that there are enough people out there who are willing to pay this $5,000 price point to get a set that has basically like what is a factually better set out there already. But that's just my own personal opinion, and obviously there are enough people out there willing to do this, or else the set wouldn't be worth so much on a resale website. But yeah, anyways, if you own any of those 10 Lego sets, or I mean, there are obviously other sets other than those 10 that are worth quite a bit of money, but for sure if you own these 10, you are very rich and you might not even know it. Rich in the sense of like a couple of $1,000s, like obviously a couple of $1,000s isn't going to get you anywhere in life, but a couple of $1,000s is pretty cool in the same sense as being like, look at that set over there. If I had that set sealed in box, it's worth at least a few $1,000s. And that's probably why a lot of people get Lego sets like this, is because they just want a really fun, really awesome thing just to be able to do that with. It like gives them satisfaction in knowing that they own one of like the rarest Lego sets, most valuable Lego sets out there. And I mean, this is just an example of just how awesome Lego is, because there's such a huge community out there that they're willing to pay thousands of dollars for some of their coolest Lego sets. And they've built up almost like this tradition of like being like this really cool antique product that's a very premium thing, really awesome for almost anyone out there to own. And I can guarantee you that no matter how much someone likes Lego, when you tell them how much your set is worth, they will think it's freaking awesome. But you know, that's all that I have to say for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to let me know by leaving a like or even a comment in the section down below, letting me know what I did well, what I should change, or if you own any of these 10 Lego sets, or if you want to own any of these 10 Lego sets. Any input like that is always appreciated. In addition to this, don't forget my invitation to subscribe, because I make content like this pretty often, and don't forget about those prizes if you guys can get me to 1,000 subscribers. In the end though, it's okay if you don't do any of those things, because what I'm really hoping for is that I entertained you enough to see you in the next one. Peace out.